We keep it going here. Vegas Vacation, a stalwart of the West Coast. Timothy Thatcher is here in Sin City.
One of the toughest individuals I've ever seen step inside the squared circle is Timothy. This is one tough match, James. It's going to take a lot to get rid of him.
Spectacular attraction and matchup here. Trevor Lee, Timothy Thatcher, two standout performers, both once upon a time at NXT, now gracing the West Coast Pro Ring. I want to thank again Cam Hawkins from Yahoo Sports and The Ringer for joining EE and myself.
Absolutely. It was a treat to get the cast with him, and he got to see his boy Orion, Danny Orion, successful as we turn our attention to Timothy and Trevor.
Called that shot here, and yeah, this should be a very good one. Two distinct styles. Again, Timothy Thatcher, you know, any limb you lash out with, he'll grab and try and rip it off your body.
A very aggressive individual for sure. One thing Trevor Lee is definitely going to have to weather as this match does wane on.
Yeah, it's just so cagey, and there is Thatcher. And look at that, just that sick smile on his face. Thatcher really has fun hurting people in the wrestling ring. And, you know, I often talk about how the furnace of affliction refines performers and everything like that, something I like to say.
Yeah.
I think Timothy Thatcher, he might be the furnace of affliction. Like, he is what I'm talking about. Anybody win, lose, or draw, you come out a different competitor after getting in there with Timothy Thatcher.
Trial by fire, my man. That is truly an excellent way to put it for sure. And I know Trevor Lee absolutely expecting to go ahead against that kind of offense too. There's a lot of pressure on that arm right now.
Trevor Lee trying to show off his technical acumen. Nice drop toe hold there and into the cradles. Thatcher's got to be careful. Back and forth they go on pin attempts, and I think respect washing over the face of Timothy Thatcher. Yeah, you got me, I got you, and you know, Trevor Lee, he's not going to be bullied, not by anybody. He's shown that over the course of his career. Trevor Lee challenged Kevin Blackwood when last we saw him for the West Coast Pro Championship. Took Blackwood to the limit. Now a chance to get back on the winning track and maybe earn another title shot.
And that's a hell of a back-to-back to go from Blackwood to Thatcher as well, too. So, I mean, no one's going to fault you here if the double L's come out, but you got to imagine this victory at all costs. But look at Thatcher, just so aggressive. Again, to your point, James, just knows how to really target those limbs and wear you down systematically.
If there is a point to inflict pain, Timothy Thatcher will find it. See Trevor Lee holding back that left hand, the digit manipulation, the digit mutilation. We'll see how that continues here, but nice takedown, single leg by Trevor Lee, and trying to contort the ankle, trying to beat Thatcher at his own game and take nothing away from Trevor Lee. He's adept at it in his own right.
Well, they give him a taste of his own medicine, but Thatcher not looking to hang on to that for too long. Immediately resumes control of this.
Yeah, short-lived. Thatcher taking that left arm now of Trevor Lee.
Yeah, it's not generally supposed to twist like that, James. Like, it's not natural.
No, it's not supposed to look like that. Trevor Lee trying to fight his way back up to his feet. Nice inverted atomic drop. Great counter, effective.
Nice high kick right to the chest. Stumbling for a minute, but immediate.
Yeah, back and forth they go. Trevor Lee getting the better of that exchange zone. He's fired up. To your point, talking about a tough back-to-back to come off Blackwood and then Timothy Thatcher. I think a little bit, though, Blackwood may be a primer for a matchup of Thatcher. Similar styles, you know, submission, striking. So we'll see if maybe Trevor Lee a little bit more prepared than he otherwise would have.
Though I am sure Thatcher is not a vegan. Throw that up there.
You're positive about that?
Pretty positive.
I'm honestly not sure. I hope not.
Getting to the meat of the matter right now. Again, just right back. Really just, you take out those hands. It's so hard to get a lot of those moves, and especially some of those blows to really connect and be effective.
Yeah, trying to get any sort of leverage or anything. If your hand is just howling in pain, good luck to you. And Thatcher just enjoying his handiwork in there into the cover and refusing to give Trevor Lee any sort of reprieve right now. Oh, God, that hand is not supposed to bend that way. It's just sick.
Basically out of hand very quickly with Timothy. And another nice uppercut, just continuing to rock Trevor Lee. Coming off this rope.
Lowered his head too soon, did Thatcher. A rare cardinal mistake from Tim, and Trevor Lee makes him pay.
And that's a good breather that he needs, bro. You got to recollect yourself, get some circulation back in those fingers for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the sweat from Trevor Lee. You know, that's just like the sort of heightened sense of trying to get out of those submissions and everything, just pouring sweat as Trevor Lee getting belly to suplexed by Thatcher.
Good Lord.
Into the cover. Deep cover, but only two. And going right back to that left arm and the hand area of Trevor Lee is Thatcher. That appears to be his target throughout the matchup.
You can see it. It's basically essentially got a bullseye on it at this point, right? That is the target, potentially, of Timothy Thatcher. Some big underhand connections, but again, that uppercut from Thatcher, so textbook of just finding its mark flush.
Thatcher holding on to it again, pulling Trevor Lee away from the ropes, trying to force him to submit here. Trevor Lee has scarcely really gotten the offense going. Just look at the intensity on the face of Thatcher.
Really trying to feed off the crowd right now, trying to get him back into this fight. He needs it quick, fast, and in a hurry. I think these underneath shots can get the job done.
Trevor Lee charging right, needed that. Knocking Thatcher off his feet yet again. Now, Trevor Lee keep stringing offense together. Thatcher tried to put a stop to it, but another reversal and face first on the top rope goes Thatcher. He just swinging a ghost. Thatcher is rocked. Thatcher is reeling. Thatcher is down. Only two.
If he had just got a little bit more, that might have been able to finish the job, but credits to Trevor finding some much needed relief and offense. Now Thatcher, to your point, not quite sure where he is right now. That head's starting to spin a little bit for the first time.
Dazed and confused is Timothy Thatcher. You got to stay on him. You don't want to let him get his bearings back. This is the opportunity. I think, in my estimation, mistake for Trevor Lee to go to the top rope in that moment.
I think you want to keep this grounded, man. I think you want to keep this to the mat.
Well, at that point, you ring Thatcher's bell once. Keep ringing it until he doesn't know where he is.
There you go.
But too late now, and they're in a duel on the top rope. Thatcher falling prone again. You see him clutching at the back of that head. Trevor Lee poised on the top rope, nobody home. It's like a cave-in perhaps. There on the kick to the side of the head. Rolling through, it got him at the pin, only two, but charging right back in. And again to the face, right back into the cover. Count, hand was getting close to three. You see it on Trevor's face. Thought he had done enough to pin him.
I think Timothy, a little bit of worry starting to set in on his face too for the first time in this match. So I think Trevor Lee finally getting some much needed success. It's going his way. See if he can put him away.
To the moon. Ooh. Nobody home. Nice elbow to the face though to again stop the tide of the Thatcher offense, but only for a moment. European uppercut and a follow. Staggered now is Lee. Oh, countering the backslide. Went for the uppercut one too many times. Nobody still got the arm. I believe that was a setup from Thatcher. Thatcher caught him. Wow. That was a setup from Thatcher all the way. Brilliant in-ring acumen.
There's something to be said about being one step ahead of your opponent, and the one step was crucial in Timothy Thatcher's victory.
You can see it on the face of Trevor Lee, frustration. He knows it. I just got. You know, like you said, just the one step ahead.
Yep.
Trevor Lee thought he did something with that backslide, and then, you know, Thatcher set him up the whole match to worry about that left arm, and when the moment was right, Thatcher said, oh, I'm gonna switch it up on you, and now I'm not going for submission. I'm just gonna catch a quick one on you,
Exactly.
And it worked to perfection.
Because he didn't have enough strength to really contest it. That was the problem right there. It was essentially a sitting duck. A good effort from Trevor Lee.